Now, enough with the overview, the introduction. Let's hit the ground running with some calculations. The first one will be converting from number base 10 decimal numeral to other bases. So take note. Base 10, another name is decimal numeral. Right. We have also learned that basically or typically, whenever we are doing a counting system or counting, the first typical or default system is base 10. So we are starting with base 10, converting that from base 10 to any other base. That's what we are doing now. Now, in order to change base from base 10 to a different base, a method involving successive division is used. The given division or decimal numeral is divided repeatedly by the appropriate base number, and the reminders, including 0, are noted at each stage. The division is continued until there is nothing left to divide. The answer is obtained by reading the remainders upward, as indicated by the arrows in the following examples. Now, the first example is what? To convert 226 base 10 to number base 8. So from base 10 to number base 8. Now, we will deal with two examples. This will be the first one, and the second one will be this one. Now, if you watch this, it's one of the things, in fact, is the simplest method or one of the topics in math. But notwithstanding, it can be very confusing. So which means that if you misunderstand or if you don't get the concept or the grasp from the beginning, the rudiments, it's going to haunt you. Because it's from this base 10 that we are going to convert to other bases, and then sometimes from a base to another base, and that cannot be done directly. So we have to pass through base 10 before we get to another base. But from base 10, we can move to any base. But when we are moving from a base to another base other than 10, we have to go through base 10. So this is why this is very important, the first conversion to be done. So stay tuned. Now, if you check here, like we said, we are converting 226 base 10 to number base 8. This looks simple when it is done this way, but trust me, if you like, attempt it, unless already you have knowledge about it. But if you should go straight this way, it's going to be a bit cumbersome, right? So some methods or some procedures have been omitted. So I will actually bring another steps, right? I'll switch to a page where we are doing this systematically, procedurally, so you understand what is done. Now, let's assume we want to do this straight from the book, and let's see how difficult it may seem. Even when I'm explaining, you will find it a bit difficult to understand. Now, what it means is that the steps is saying that we are going to repeatedly divide this number by that base that we are moving to, and then the remainders is what we keep. Now, when we are done, we write the numbers upward. So you can see here that's 3, 4, 2. This is the answer, and this is written upwards, not 2, 4, 3, but rather 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 3, 4, 2. Sorry. So this is how it is done. The steps seem simple when I speak. Let's do the calculation. Now, what it means is that we have 226, right? So the first step is what? To divide this one by this. Now, when you divide that, we get 28. Now, the reason why we are getting this 28 is because 8 cannot go into 226 directly, right? It's not directly divisible. So I'm going to be using the word interchangeably: divisible, going into 8, divisible, or going into 8. This 8 cannot go into 226 directly. It can only move closer to 226 by getting attached to 28. It can move closer to this by getting attached to 228. That's the meaning, simple or literal meaning. So how? So if we are saying 28, now let's prove that if 28 is actually by pairing this and this, move closer to this. Now, in your calculator, point to 8 times 28, you will get a number called 224. Now, 224 is close to what? 226. So that 224 that we got, subtracted from these two, 226, the remainder will be 2. Hence, these two. right? Now move down to another step. This 8 going into 28, it cannot go straight into it, but it can move closer to it. But a number pairing is with this number 3. Now multiply this 8 by 3. That will be 24. 24 is closer to 28. So now that 24 that we got, subtract it from this particular number. That will be what? 4. Because we are getting 24. 24 from 28 will be 4. Right? So that is it. Now, this one, how can it move closer to this? Right? So here, it is not possible. Meaning, because this 8 is bigger than this. So if it's bigger than this, we will have something called long division. If you do a long division, we get 0 point something, and that point or that decimal is what we are avoiding. The whole idea that I should also draw your attention to, we are avoiding that dot 5, dot 6, 0.2, 0.3, we are avoiding it. We are avoiding that one, but we are going to rewrite it in a very formal formal way. So this is it. So 0.5, you don't have 0.5, 0.2, 0.3, those we don't have it. So that is it. So now if you should move this one to this one is already bigger than this, so 0. Now if it is 0, now multiply this one by this, that will be 0. 8 by 0 is 0. Now that 0 subtract from 3, that will be 3. Now also note, the moment you hit 0 here, that means that's the end of the calculation. So this is it. Now I'm going to prove to you as step by step, so stay tuned. So here, this is what was done in the book. I've done that, written the answer here, right? We have a 3, 4, 2. This is it. So 226 base 10 to this one 3, 4, 2 base 8. Now let's do the systematical approach that I took. So step 1, like we said, we are dividing repeatedly 8, right? And then recording the quotient plus the remainder. That's what we got here. So now this one, 226 divided by 8, that's 28. Now that 28 that we got, we multiply that by this here, right? We divide this by this, we go 28 remainder 2. Now we are proving to you why it's so, like the way we got it here. We are proving to you why we got 28 remainder 2. So what it means that we multiply 8 by 28 to give 224. Now this 224 is taken from what? 226, give you 2. Hence 28 remainder 2. You see the simple, the logic. I'm going to run a bit faster, but you still understand that. Now we move down. We are not done yet. We move down. That 28 that we got, we're going to divide it once again by 8. When you divide it, we get 3. 3 remainder 4. Let's prove why it's so. Because we multiply this 8 by 3, hence this arrow, giving you what? 24. Now this 24, take it from 28. That's 4. Right? Now let's come down again. We got 3 here. Right? So 3 comes down, being once again divided by 8. We said it's 0. If you like, try it. If you point it, you get 0 point something. So we are looking at this point is the integral part of it, and here will be the remainder. If you like, point this into your calculator, and this is what you see 0 point something. To the 0 is the integral part, that's what we keep here. Then the remainder, which is something 0.5 or whatever, is what we rewrite in informal way to get this. So if you multiply 8 by 0, we get 0. Now take this 0 from that what? 3. So hence we have 3 here. So writing it upward again is 3, 4, 2 base 8. I think we got the answer or the logic. I'm going to use another example, and then that will be for converting from a base 10 to any other base. So this to base 8, I'll take to base 2. Then if you get the logic, then we can apply that to any base that's moving from 10 to any other base, right? So thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Stay blessed. Ciao for now.